All right. Welcome back. We are at a happy hour of Rob's Garage. The first ever. This is a real happy hour on a Friday night.
Yeah. Do we ever do it on a Friday before?
I don't think so.
I think we did for the Deer Hunter show.
Oh.
Is that Friday or
I
Saturday?
think that was a Friday night.
The twilight time like this? 5:30, 6 o'clock?
That was a rowdy one.
I think so. I don't, because I thought I had to take off for that thing, and I think it was.
I don't know. Well, this is a unique Black Rob switching his schedule to kind of free up on a Friday night. You know, given that it's the happy hour and all the news going on, we can dedicate this show to the coronavirus. Get it? Do you have a Wonka?
No,
big news. Chris
shit.
has his own soundboard now.
Yeah. I got lots of stuff. I have like, I got like Waka Waka. And
You want to drop
Horn.
like a sad trombone on me?
well, I
Like,
don't have that.
Really?
But, like, what would you like?
see, yeah, I got the crickets still.
I got one of these. Give me a sec.
Yep. I'm just a natural born leader, Chris. I don't know what to tell you. Oh.
The audio is a little low.
I know. I got to turn that up.
Why don't you drop us an air horn or something?
Okay. Was it Joe Romeo air horn?
Yeah. Oh, Funk Master Flex Night.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right. Watch out, everyone.
Oh, yeah. We're taking this.
Smart ass Chris has his own soundboard now. If you think, hi, this is Rob was bad, just wait. I don't even know what you have. That's probably like 7 layers
Well,
deep.
I just got it going, so this is going to be a work in progress.
Ay. Well, big news week. My goodness. Lots going on in the world this week.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the big news with Kobe Bryant.
Knew you were going to start there.
Start there?
Yes, you love to bum
What?
people out.
I wasn't going to start. I was going to go the Ari Shafir route.
Were you really?
okay.
Yeah. Is it better?
do that, yeah.
I'm a professional podcaster.
All right.
You have no
That's
faith
true.
in me.
That's
Not
true.
only am I natural born
Damn
leader,
it, I
Chris.
should. This is where, and I would have fucking did the drop. And
I know. See? It's a
fucking
lot. It's a lot of
jumped
responsibility.
I jumped the gun.
So we're not going to get too sentimental, and maybe we will later. Because, you know, I'm in a very emotional state these days, Chris. My stress is through the roof. I'm
Yeah.
depressed and anxious. I can't sleep. I'm sweating.
You look the
profusely.
same.
Yeah, well,
Did you feel it today?
I'm getting better. I'm all right.
I know. I got. You can give this a shot.
What is that? He pulled
It's
that.
actually no-
Rob pulled out. It looks like a little suppository. It's a blue. Where's that go? In my mouth or in my
No,
butt?
you got to
Rob?
do this. You take the cap off.
Just put it in
And
your
you
butt.
just do it's a little bit of tar is going to come out of
Jesus.
it. You put it on your finger and put it in your mouth. It's 10-1 CBD to THC.
Okay. And it goes in my butt.
It goes in your butt.
You gotta
But
take a
seriously.
picture of that, Chris.
Let Heidi ease that one in.
Take it.
That's a Friday night. for you.
That's just giving me anxiety looking at
You
it.
want a piece?
No, thank you. I'm all right. I'm
All
good
right.
for now. I'm under control. I
This shit works. Brings
did
it
some
down a little bit.
exercise. So as we all know, horrible, tragic news: the death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other people in that horrific helicopter crash. And so, our podcast has always defended comedians, the right to joke, off-color commentary. You know, no lines being drawn. But I think this little incident may have established the line that we've defended for so much and for so long.
Yeah.
And so a little bit of background. Ari Shafir is a comedian. He's a New York comedian. So he's got a little bit more edge than maybe some of the other LA or throughout the country.
Is he living in New York now? I thought he was an LA guy.
I don't know. He's probably back and forth, but
Maybe he was originally from. I don't know. I really don't know.
anyway, but he's like a disciple of the whole Joe Rogan tribe, and but he's a pretty crass guy. He's blue, as they say.
You got to talk in past tense because I think he's done.
He's done. I mean, he's now getting legitimate death threats.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
they,
didn't see
canceled
any
his,
of the feedback or anything.
So I remember. So Sunday was the news, right? And it came in pretty hot, and I was out running errands in Philadelphia, and I in particularly was going to the Apple store to get my earbud fixed. right? And I had never seen anything like this in my life. Like this felt like a high school telephone game where, you know, like you go to an Apple store, you have like the Genius bars. So if you want to get something repaired, you have to go to like this communal table and wait.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, you know, just waiting for my Genius. And I get a text from a buddy, and it was the TMZ link. And I clicked the link, and obviously it had the headline that Kobe was, you know, crashed. And he's like, I hope this isn't true. So I'm like, well, I mean, is it fake? Like, I mean, TMZ picked it up. Usually it's pretty reputable. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I can't believe that. I just said something out loud. And so then the genius that was helping me with my earbud, you know, young black kid, and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I just showed him my phone, and he literally like dropped the earbuds. He's like, no. He's like, I got to text my boy. He put my earbuds down, starts texting. He's like, shit. My earbud was secondary in his mind right now. Like it wasn't fixed, you know? And so now I'm at this communal table with a bunch of young black teenagers that, you know, getting their phones fixed. And they're like, what's up? And I was like, Kobe Bryant. And they just kind of like didn't believe it. They got up, started walking around, and I witnessed like a wave of information go throughout the entire Apple store of, it was like telephone game, and like the hysterics, the whole store just like couldn't believe it. Like it was the most fascinating thing. And so after I even, you know, left at the Apple store, every block that I walked on in Philadelphia, people were like sobbing, talking. It was remarkable.
Did you go to high school here?
Yeah, on the main line in Lower Merion. So there is that tie.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was almost like an epidemic spreading.
Yeah.
Just news, just horrible. So within minutes of that news breaking, Ari Shaffir sends out a tweet and a live stream video. So I'll cue up the video.
Did not see the video.
Like literally minutes.
There's always a lot of like hate, pain in the world, and there's always a bunch of terrible stories. And every once in a while, there's a good story. A good story comes out. A guy who got away with rape got his today. Kobe Bryant is gone. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have raped that chick in Denver if he had stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is, dude, it's like,
Hey, so he sends that out, and then I'll try to pull up the original tweet from, and I think I had sent this to you guys, but it was something that I'll paraphrase it because I don't have it queued up because, you know, we're not professionals and actually plan for these shows. But it was something along the lines is, what a great day. Fuck the Lakers. He had it coming to him. He deserved every bit of this. What a great day to be alive. So on and so forth. Right. Yeah. So that, of course, goes viral, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, I can't. From a comedic standpoint, this is what we talk about all the time, you know, like where the joke, I just couldn't find the joke in it.
No.
Right. And it was like this vitriol, you know, like, I guess he was being sarcastic, but the joke was beyond me.
Care that much? I mean, like to be that venomous? I don't, and you know, like you said, I didn't get offended by it. I just like, ooh, that's going to hurt a lot of people. And because I'm still surprised at the outpouring of emotion across the country for this. Like, the NBA is the furthest thing from my fucking mind or television ever. Of course, I know who Kobe Bryant was, but I didn't know that I didn't even know he was in the league for 20 years. It felt like he was only there for a little bit. Yeah. And then all these people are like, you know, I watched the Jimmy Fallon thing, the Jimmy Kimmel thing. They were all, they basically shut their shows down for just that. And I was wondering if it was just a slow news week that this took over everything like crazy. It was very strange. Yeah. But this seemed like, also, I guess you have to be,
so this is what he wrote.
When I say this is not funny, as in it doesn't offend me. Yeah. But I just didn't find it.
Well, that's what I couldn't.
Humorous.
That's what I had a hard time with because, like, again, everyone in this room will almost blindly defend the joke because you understand the intent behind the comedic, right? So here's what he wrote. I was able to find it. So Kobe Bryant died 23 years too late today. He got away with rape because all of the Hollywood liberals who attack comedy enjoy rooting for the Lakers more than they dislike rape. Big ups to the hero who forgot to gas up his chopper. I hate the Lakers. What a great day.
Yeah.
Like, where's the joke in that? Like, what's...
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't. Am I shocked that somebody, or
I don't know
just
if
him?
he expected this kind of like.
He should have. That's what I would expect
like,
from it. But I can't believe.
I don't know,
especially
if
when you have a community like the Laker community and the black community behind. Like, there's certain things.
Is it? Yeah.
I mean, he was a saint in Los Angeles.
I
even
don't
here.
know how much the Lakers are.
So a couple of days later on Instagram, Ari kind of resurfaces because now people are like sending him hate mail.
I think he closed or privatized his Twitter.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Other black comedians are now like going after. They can't defend him. They just thought it was too soon. And so Shafir writes this on his Instagram. Every time a beloved celebrity dies, I post some horrible shit about them. I've been doing it for years now. I like destroying gods, and right when a famous person dies, they are at their worst or their most worshipped. So as a response to all the outpouring of sympathy on social media, I post something vile. It's just a joke. I don't really hate any of the people. Some of them I never even heard of, and I have to look them up after I see all the RIP posts.
That's bullshit.
Some of them I actually really admire, and I'm bummed they've passed. It doesn't stop me from trying as quickly as I can to write some terrible shit about them. They're all just jokes, though, and I would never tag anyone in them that's all associated with one person. I'm not looking to hurt anybody mourning a loved one, just looking to post some inappropriate jokes for my fans. They've come to expect it from me. So he goes on about defending, like, when Ralphie May died. He kind of filled that in, and then he says, Sunday morning I started seeing a bunch of people asking me where my Kobe post was. The early report showed that he had died flying a helicopter that he liked flying. It didn't mention anybody else was on board, let alone children. I never made fun of any of the kids on the helicopter. They're not celebrities. Kids dying like that is horrible. Obviously, all the other people dying, that horrible too. It's horrible he died. Really, really sad. What a terrible thing that has happened. So he kind of,
he's
backpedaling a little bit, and like rightfully is trying to save face. But I guess over the last few days, his agent had dropped him. New York Comedy Club.
I think he's going to find it
shut
hard
him
to
down.
get work. If he ever had any dreams of going on late night television eventually, I don't think his act would translate to those. But
I mean, he really fucked himself because I don't even know if people I'm curious to see who liked it, like his posts on there. Because I guarantee that like other comedians that are typically like friends with him.
That's a very good point. So
they're probably like staying clear of him. Typically it's like the same collection, like those LA comics, like you said, like Rogan, Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer.
All those dudes. But, you got to have balls to like his post.
Yeah, I just the tweets aren't loading. No one that I follow, it doesn't show that it.
Yeah,
it liked. Yeah,
they left him alone to die. No, I didn't mean to say that.
Oh, Chris, that's as insensitive.
I didn't mean.
I get. Did you ever see? I don't really follow Twitter all that often, but did you ever see anything like that from before? Like, is he consistent with the?
Yeah, I think he's got. That's the thing I was saying. Like, he kind of has my like way of like stirring shit up and fuck with things and stuff like that. So I kind of get what he was trying to do, but it was bad. Yeah. Like, it was bad timing, bad everything about it.
Maybe he did it right away, right?
Yeah, it was right instantly.
Because I'm still shocked by the amount of. The Super Bowl's in 2 days. I haven't heard one fucking thing about the Super Bowl.
It overshadows
everything. I'm surprised at the magnitude of this. And
I don't know, man. It shook me, man. It was surprising how
but
it was.
I agree, but I think it's also you're a parent. That's what fucked me up.
Oh, yeah.
The parent thing fucked me up. Not, it's bad with any of this, but the parent thing, I just picture like
horrible.
the last seconds
Horrible.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
and then the
picturing-
family
yeah.
having to, reestablish themselves as, a new family, and it's just horrible. I had to stop going on social media.
Yeah, it's
like that was
pretty-
true. I could because it was every picture, and I just saw me and Lola in every one of them. Right, like that's
Yeah.
exactly
No, I
how
hear
you
you.
felt.
Same.
And the fact that he's our age, like we
Nice.
grew up with,
Yeah.
him. He lived a full life because as a 17, 18-year-old kid, he was in the spotlight,
And then seeing Shaq break down, you see
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah. So yeah.
I just think, it does kind of, I get it, when people are like, well, who cares? He's just a celebrity, and it's like, nah, he was kind of a special dude. Yeah, it was, he had this controversy early on with the allegations and the rape and all of that. And, but by and large, there's special individuals on this planet, right? And so when they tend to go and all the influence and impact that they've made, this is what happens. So it just gets annoying to see, the quote haters, just like, who cares? Like, he's just but he's not just a basketball player.
What about the pilot? What about the, I'm like, but come on,
it's either racism or you just hate yourself.
But nobody wishes the pilot died either, but he wasn't fucking famous around the world. So
yeah.
I don't know if there was something bigger going on in a news cycle. Would this have still?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the magnitude.
Sure.
I
mean,
really
he won
don't.
an Oscar last year for a short film. He was producing TV shows for ESPN. He was a venture capitalist. He was investing in companies.
He was handsome.
He was good looking. And he was a great family guy, and he was beloved throughout his community. He didn't play the superstar act and the charities, everything that he was doing. And it's a shame. So this could have been the day of the Super Bowl. And I think it would have gotten,
it would have overshadowed that
yeah,
shit.
for sure.
Yeah. I could literally have you, am I wrong? But because I haven't heard word one, like I have a feeling this Super Bowl is going to have the worst ratings in a long time. Do people not care about the teams that are in there?
Yeah. No, I saw a report today just, here at work, like the retail and merchandising are breaking records on
Are they really?
online sales. Yeah. So,
right.
Given the fact that, the 49ers are a legacy team, right? They're one of the big ones. And then the Chiefs.
Yeah, the fact that Mahomes is in it, I think is a help. Because if it somehow the Titans squeaked in against that, then it would have been a shitty. There would be no merchandise sold.
With
there would have been.
yeah.
Mahomes is a very for
Green,
kids.
young, fiery.
Yeah, kids love like Mahomes.
Imagine it was Green Bay, Tennessee.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I was kind of like with this one too, but I want to see the Chiefs one. I want to see Andy Reid.
Andy Reid,
as much as
I don't care about Mahomes either.
Yeah.
He'll probably be back. I'd like to see Andy Reid get the ring finally.
He's a good dude. What did he do? His son died, right? Andy Reid.
Yeah, he went through that heroin overdose.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, or opioids.
He deserves it. I don't mean it because of that, but he's a good. He seems like a nice guy.
I thought you went the Ari Shaffir route.
Oh my God, no! Damn, man, what do you think I am? Fuck.
Like if he was consistently doing that for shock value too, and vile, like he's almost playing the heel, like the wrestler heel.
Totally, that's his act.
So and we know
totally
that because he's the amazing racist. He would pick up Mexicans at the corral or whatever for working, and they take them right to the INS office and start beeping the horn, and they jump out of the back and go running away. But
he's the he doused his best friend with ecstasy without telling him and his family.
So he's definitely out there, but and for him too, he can't. It's hard for a guy like that in that position to come out and just be like, I'm sorry. He had to kind of tactfully go around it to save some kind face as.
His shtick is done though, man. Yeah. Like if this is like kind of his way and his act, he has to like now.
Yeah,
he has to like build himself back up.
Yeah, I think if he known the magnitude,
nowadays
he might not have done that because he might be fucking his career now.
Is he canceled now?
For real, canceled. I think. I think when your agent drops you and. Yeah. I think for real canceled. Like that's how do you recover from that?
But now look,
Sean's not here all the time. We can use another person here. He seems desperate.
We get a lot of listeners.
So, but here's
a fucking asshole.
You know what? That could be a good alternative for him because look at this: New York Comedy Club receives threats after comedians Kobe Bryant jokes, so they cancel the show. Like if clubs can now make that decision.
Yeah, that's what he means. Screwed. If you're worried about not getting like raising up to the level of the late night. You know, is he going to be on the Tonight Show? Probably not with his act.
No.
but definitely not now.
No.
But I don't think anybody wants to tie themselves to him anymore.
Even nightclubs, then what do you do as a comedian? Like that's the building block, the base, right? The start.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he ever resurfaces with this.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe, who was that? Ralph Nader, who he made a tweet about trying to set up a new regulation on helicopters and
creating
a new calling it a new enforcement act or something along the, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's a regulation, right? And so surprisingly, helicopters. His particular helicopter did not have
instruments.
The certain land detection or environmental detection to show and censor like
you're coming up on something.
Your surroundings.
Fogs. I've read that the LAPD grounded all their helicopters at that moment until I guess the fog lifts. I guess out there it probably comes and goes.
And that's the thing when they that first TMZ post. I mean, they showed a picture and it was foggy as all hell. I'm like, how did that even get off a launch pad? Yeah. Like I would have never. Like it's a helicopter. Like you're in a tin cup, spinning around.
Well, I would just assume that. I mean, that's instrument flying at that point, right? Like
yeah.
I mean, we have a friend who is an aviator. Let's get him on the phone.
He's a flight attendant. But you know what's funny? Crashing and flying. I don't know what it is, but like I turned on the TV last night.
Yeah.
One of the greatest movies ever. Oh no. I wasn't connected. Oh boy. I am a rookie. You can tell I'm sick.
You're sick.
Yes, it's okay. You know where I'm going with this?
Yes. You're the asshole with all the money.
Opening scene. You know what movie this is?
No.
Richie, no! La Bamba.
Who'd he die with?
Big Bopper, Buddy Holly. Yeah, it was the three of them, right? There wasn't a fourth dude, or was it who was the guy that lucked out? Waylon Jennings, or I don't remember who it was. The three of them died on that.
The Big Bopper.
It was a four-seater. I think it was the pilot and the three of them. The day the music died.
So that came on.
And you watched it?
I watched it, opening scene. Wife couldn't handle it. She's like, it's following us. I was like, oh, just wait till you get to the greatest movie line of all time. When Richie started he got his record deal, his mom wanted to celebrate, and his brother Bob, who was like the motorcycle, was total knife, and they were talking about like getting a dress for his mom, and Bob was gonna do it, or Richie was gonna do it, and then Bob got mad, and he's like, no, you do it. You're the asshole with all the money.
I don't remember that. How do you remember all this? Did you watch it or something? The whole movie?
I loved that movie. I didn't watch it all last night, but
how come they make Lou? Do you think that's sensitive to make Lou Diamond? Is that his name? Lou Diamond Films?
Yeah.
To make him fucking play an Indian, a Mexican.
He's got range. I mean, he's a very
plays everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I think I've seen him as an Indian.
Well, he's not playing George Washington.
We haven't seen him lately, though, have
Well,
we?
yeah, he's not George Washington, but I'd have to.
That would be great. People get all pissed off.
Hi, I'm George.
I'm all for diversity, but come on, man. He's wearing a fucking powdered wig. You're the asshole with the pens. You signed the document. That would be fucking great. I was thinking, bringing up when we were parking along those lines, the Joey Buttafuoco thing that we were talking about, and we never brought up the Saturday Night Live clip where Danny DeVito was hosting, so he was dressed like Joey Buttafuoco, and then Tim Meadows came out, the black guy with the mullet and the Zubas on it. Joey Buttafuoco, God, we should have him on here. I'm sure he'd be an easy get.
Yeah, that should be our thing, man. We should start trying to get these desperate people. Put Ari Shaffir number one.
People who are
he's completely desperate right now.
People who or through a news cycle for some shit that
Yeah.
no one wants to touch them.
Yeah.
OJ, where
we
you
could
at?
touch him.
Get OJ.
Yes.
Oh, here's
motherfucker.
one that I don't think we've seen. Jim Carrey as Joey Buttafuoco.
Hey, Joey Buttafuoco away.
Hey girls, are you a whore? Are you good with a handgun? Do you like to have sex in a car?
Are you as dumb as dip? But you still want to make a lot of money? Then take Amy's special bang for your buck seminar. Tell him, princess.
In Living Color.
Oh my god.
Damn, man, we're really going backwards here. Not relevant at all. We're talking about Joey Buttafuoco and In Living Color clip.
That's the web of the internet. I went down looking for Saturday Night Live.
You're just trying to defend us.
Remember when that shit came out? It was how did that and Arsenio Hall were huge when we were in high school, like bigger than the Tonight Show, and then it just fucking dived. Like it lasted a year or two, and then
What?
it just
What are you
in Living
talking
Color and
Yeah.
even Arsenio. He was huge back then.
I think they stuck around longer than a year. I mean, maybe it was only relevant to us for
Yeah,
that
this
time.
way
But
it feels like maybe a couple years, but they were so big, and then it just disappeared. Even they didn't come back to mediocrity; they just fell completely.
yeah,
Very weird. Weird.
I don't know, but the '90s are coming back, Chris. Everything, the fashion trends.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm all
Or
inclusive.
am I like a 90s person?
What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I think you're the archetype of what it means to be
Like
a
a
'90s
Foo
kid.
Fighters fan?
Yeah, you're like Rage Against the
K-Rock.
Machine and
Yeah.
the Breeders.
The Breeders.
Dun, 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 dun.
What a
Cannonball.
yeah, that's it. Ooh,
Yeah,
I
you're-
wouldn't
you've got that
think that-
four non-blonde
that's not-
vibe about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 90s to me sounds like K-Rock radio, right? Like fucking, is it Foo Fighters and what else
late-
was big in
the
there?
late '90s stuff was awful.
Chris's purple hair.
Yeah.
This is it. This is how I would remember you in the '90s.
Like the Breeders?
Sure.
I mean, they're an offshoot of the Pixies, so I'll take it.
We're just,
I don't mind this. You hate this?
no, I don't. Not at all.
It's Kim Deal. She's awesome.
I didn't realize she was in the Pixies.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's the girl that sings Gigantic.
Yeah,
God, Chris, I'm not the music historian as you are.
You don't have to be a historian. Damn. Maybe if you listen to something other than Fatboy Slim.
Fat Boy Slim. Right here, right now, right here. Is
that him?
Yeah.
That's not his big song, is it?
It was one of them.
what was the big one? There was it was
Nah, there's
yeah,
another
that
one.
one album that he came out with. It had like 3 songs on it that were big, but the one was really big.
That's what I feel like you like. Fatboy Slim.
Oh, yeah.
Fat Boy Slim is fucking in heaven. Fucking in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
Praise you. That one.
That's Moby, isn't it?
This is the one.
Is
Yeah,
this Fatboy Slim?
yeah,
Yeah.
This was big.
Yeah, this is definitely your vibe.
Yeah. Like at
Yes.
festivals, all the festivals I would go to.
I just no.
just pull up to your
When you-
house.
Yeah, after you got out of
Chris!
Yes. Yeah.
Chris.
I just got back from the Gap.
You got to check out this new song. He's British. Oh, it gets really good. Hurry up! Come on!
Hurry up!
I'm dyeing my hair.
I don't want to rewind it.
He's got a new single out.
Does he? Well, Rage Against the Machine are doing shows again too. The
yeah?
90s are in vogue, huh?
Oh, Chris, what are you going to do when Blur comes back and they do their reunion tour?
Damn, I'd be really happy. I didn't go with that last time.
I didn't either. I didn't get to see that at the Garden. What What else is coming back from the 90s? What are you seeing? What am I not
Oh,
seeing?
but the sneakers and clothing.
Sneakers.
Yeah. So the colors, the pastels, so the pinks, and if you look out the studio door here, you'll see the Millennials bike. And what color is that? It's a nice 90s
Seafoam
turquoise.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just needed some pink splatters on that.
See, I think
like
of that
the
as
paint
80s,
splatters,
like late 80s, the jams.
Nah, but you remember
Shit
like
like
David
that.
Robinson sneakers and like the Andre Agassi, the Nikes, like that style, and then like
I hate everything basketball.
Space Jam.
No, I hate
that
basketball.
movie.
Yeah.
Like there's grown men wearing Space Jam gear right now at Mitchell and Ness. They're selling that stuff.
What,
I don't
the
get
cartoon movie?
it. Yes, but Michael Jordan was in it.
You talk about that store a lot. Do you go there often?
I pass it every day. I love it.
Do you?
Love it. Yes. Just look in. What's new?
What's
Do you go?
And it's all-
Do you buy stuff from there?
They know me now. They're like I've gone in there a couple times.
Come
and
by our
because you're not allowed to go in there with
t-shirt.
like backpacks, but
Yeah.
they know me. Like, oh, you're cool. You're cool. Because I go right over to the Randall Cunningham section.
They have a
Does he have-
section for
Really?
Like Reggie White, Randall, like all the Eagles stuff always lives. Like most of the other teams, like they go seasonal for whatever sport is in play. The Eagles always have representation.
You gotta like all those great athletes through all the sports in Philadelphia. Who's like the infamous like dirtbag one?
Ricky Waters. Everyone hates Ricky Waters. I don't know if
Really?
he's
Why?
a dirtbag.
He's a
not
Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, but he was.
I thought it was Andre Waters. Was he another one?
Well,
Who was
he
the
was-
dirty one who used to hit people? out of bounds?
Andre Waters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I thought you were going the other way with that, I misunderstood. Most Philadelphia fans love every single player that has played for the Eagles, but I would say Ricky Waters is probably the one that is the
pariah.
heel.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, Lenny Dykstra in '94 was big here. He was batting like 400, and do they sell Dykstra jerseys in there and shit? Or
I don't know. He's got a weird relationship with the team because who he is now. And I remember there was controversy that they stopped selling his jerseys, like the retro one.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he was in jail,
That's who I'm looking for.
How
Like,
can
guys
they
like that, why
sell?
would they-
Because but they're not gonna sell. How can they sell his jerseys? We talked about this. They knocked his teeth out. He's like easier to suck dick.
What?
How can they? We talked about this in an earlier episode. When he went to jail, that's why he has like his teeth missing. Like some big dude punched his teeth so he can like suck dick in comfort.
But that's the kind of thing I mean. Like, I feel like this city would embrace that.
I mean, all of South Philly still loves him. It's like
too
the
Kim.
center city, though.
Is there?
So there's big rallies going on for Andy Reid. So like local
yeah?
radio stations are like calling it Andy Reid Day, and then there's one radio host that never liked him, and it happened to be my buddy's dad. Like he's like the biggest sports radio guy.
Yeah.
And he despises Andy Reid, and so he's like publicly declared that he will not take part, and it's unacceptable for the city to show him the accolade and adoration of like Andy Reid Day. So he's being a big grumpy pants about it.
It seems it's secondary though, so it's kind of like it's not theirs. If he said I refuse to do that for the Eagles, then he might be strung up.
Yeah.
Sure, to run him out of town with pitchforks around here.
Chris,
but-
where are you going? Did I say something? Yeah. Oh shit! Damn it!
What the
Chris left.
fuck?
So, what's up, Rob? What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, it's a long, boring winter.
Although it's been pretty mild.
It has. You know what I find? It's not so much the cold; it's the lack of light. I think, and the gray and brown. It's sad. It's seasonal affective disorder.
You got it? Are you struggling?
Like not struggling. It's just like I feel like my head is soup from it. Like you just like, all right, we're gonna get up. We'll come back home. It's the same shit over and over again. You're just staying in the house. I need to be out in the backyard at least. Something. It happens every year. By the time March comes around, and then
It clears out.
you start to forget about it, and it goes away, and then you're like, I'll be able to do this, and then November next year it starts to set back in again.
So so you're in that Groundhog Day kind of mindset.
It's not like I can't get off the couch kind of shit. It's just like
you're not waking up in the middle of the night in a pool of sweat with electricity running through your body.
No.
Oh, okay.
You were doing that.
Why? What's wrong?
That may have happened a couple of times over the last few weeks.
Jesus. No, because I use marijuana, and that usually that can stop that nonsense. At least when you sleep. I don't know if it could cure all that. In fact, people who use it consistently and over again find themselves in depression from time to time.
But I wouldn't categorize there's probably a fine line between them, but I'm definitely more anxiety ridden than depression. Yeah. But again, I think it's a fine line. But yeah, like peak stress, peak work kind of stuff is just throughout me right now. And of course the weather doesn't help.
Mine doesn't stem from that stuff.
So Chris, mental illness should be discussed openly. You know, there's a stigma behind it.
Are you implying that I should?
No.
I thought you were suggesting that I had a mental illness.
I'm not suggesting. I'm proclaiming that. No, I'm kidding. No, anxiety.
I don't think it would be the first time I was told that.
So what do they got you pinned for? Who called you bipolar?
Not bipolar. I told you.
Schizophrenic?
In high school, I had to go see the school psychiatrist.
But being weird is not a mental illness.
They thought it was.
So like, you had to go see the nurse. You're being extraordinarily weird today, Christian.
Yeah, man. I had to see that dude like often. Yes. Yeah, I had a schedule with him. I got pulled out of class. I mean, they didn't announce and go, "Hey, Chris, go see the guy, the crazy doctor." Yeah, they didn't like make a thing about it.
Crazy doctor. Wait, now was this guy in our high school?
Yeah, he used to walk around all the time with the mustache. He didn't he never spoke.
Guy with the mustache,
Mr. Thiel, I think his name was.
There was two, and there was the other one, Miss Lily. She was upstairs. There was school.
She was a counselor.
Yeah, but he was a psychiatrist.
He was a psychiatrist.
I think he was.
Yeah.
Wow. And
I don't know who ratted me out.
Upstairs in the library, remember that's where they had their offices.
That's where she was.
I think he was up there too.
Where did you go? Did you go to like a secret little department in like?
It was like off a guidance.
The psychiatric ward of the high school.
Yes.
The trailer that was in the woods next to all the gypsum weed.
No, I was in some room and it was nice and padded and cushy. But it was
put it in the hole, Chief. When you walked in. Miss Pritchett was there, Nurse Pritchett.
Yeah.
Did he have the little dolls too on the table? Like,
he had me put blocks together and stories together and assess me. Yeah.
Now what did you do that was
this is what I'm saying. Like, look, I can't relate to Ari Shafir like at all.
I mean, you kind of look like him a little.
Fuck.
I mean,
really?
That's a good, right?
What about? I don't look like that. What about it?
I don't know.
He's a slender man with some facial hair.
Yes, bingo. And he's white. You know, white people all look the same.
Anyway, I could see that this dude likes to really fucking mix it up and stir it up, and that's what I always did.
Yeah.
So I guess it was taken as I have or had issues.
And they didn't define the issues. They just said this kid's just. Yeah.
It couldn't because it was bullshit. There was nothing to.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's I'm just mental condition.
Yeah, I just kind of I mean, I wouldn't go that far like that dude did, but I like to.
Yeah, but how could anyone I got the joke right away, within the first few seconds that I met you, a complete stranger.
Some people don't.
But that's what I'm saying. So how can school and professionals, teachers, not get the joke?
Some teachers and kids probably ratted me out. I don't know.
So you were probably a bully.
I wasn't a bully. They probably thought something's really off and weird about this.
Bully of sarcasm.
Kid. Yeah.
Well, but I don't know what the timeline was. Was it senior year that they did it? Or after the garden hose and the campaign for homecoming.
Yeah,
Mr. Cifelli probably did it. That's who. Get this guy out of my homecoming.
Could have been anybody, but I don't know. Now I hear you tell stories about anxiety, and I don't have any of this stuff.
Well, good for you.
But
that's awesome.
Or I'm dead inside.
So you have that.
I could be. I could be completely dead because nothing really bothers me.
Right. What disorder is that? Is that
It's got to be something, right?
Antisocial, dissociative
Yeah, it's
behavior.
got to be something that nothing ever affects me, and I kind of just stay in some limbo state.
Yeah, so you're a sociopath. That's
Maybe that's why I went. They didn't tell me that.
hasn't cried in 40 years. You're Dexter. We talked about the show You,
I have
right?
cried.
You have?
Well, yeah, but it was only like when I was younger I would cry.
Probably
Only
like
thing
you
that
saw
made me-
Mick Jagger or something stupid.
No, the only thing that ever made me cry was like sporting things, like maybe when dudes like retired or broke a record or something. That was like always like sporting events like made me cry.
All right, I'm gonna look up the definition for
A sociopath?
Sociopath.
It's like
Well, hold on.
can't empathize with others. Or
Hold on. A person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and lack of consciousness.
Fuck you! You made all that up. You made that up. That's not real.
Rob, he's gonna kill you the next
Wait,
trip
read that
out
again.
here.
Read it again. I wasn't really paying attention.
Hold on.
And is this real?
I am. It's up on the screen. Look at this.
Sociopath.
That's even how they say it.
Sociopath.
A person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and lack of conscious and feels nothing.
Fuck. Damn it.
All right,
I
hold
was
on.
only joking about all this.
What are the traits of a sociopath? Glibness, manipulative, and conning.
Shut up.
Holy
Wait, I don't have my
shit.
glasses.
Pathological lying, lack of remorse, shame, or guilt, shallow emotions,
Oh, shit.
incapacity for love, and need for stimulation.
Well,
You've got your phone, your beer.
I
your-
do love things.
there's more.
Shit, that's hard to read.
God, okay. All right, here. Need for stimulation, callousness,
Wait,
lack of
okay.
empathy.
Wait. If you're going to do this, can you start at the top and I'll just be honest with you and I'll check the box.
Okay. Glibness, superficial charm.
Check.
So is it a check or X? Is that what we're doing? Manipulative and conning.
Double check.
Grandiose sense of self.
Not really.
Okay. See, well, I don't believe you
Two
because
out of
the next one is pathological lying. Maybe you just lied about that.
Well, you know what? I might be a half a check on the other one because I do feel I'm usually pretty confident in myself.
Okay.
So maybe
All right.
that, yeah.
Lack of remorse, shame, or guilt.
Oh yeah, I usually don't care.
Shallow emotions.
Yes, yeah, I don't really get. Yeah.
Okay. Incapacity for love.
Well, no, I mean, see, like,
So that's an X.
yes, that's an
Okay.
X. That's not a check.
All right. That's one.
I mean, I love you guys. I love my family.
Need for stimulation. Living on the edge, verbal outbursts, and physical punishments.
No, I mean, I don't just
Promiscuity.
yell things at things. But also, what was the other one? The top before that?
Incapacity for love. Need for living on the edge, verbal outburst, promiscuity, and gambling.
No, those are not.
Chris, your deck of cards are falling out of your back pocket. What are you talking about?
Gamble.
All right. Let's see here. Poor behavioral controls, impulsive nature, rage, and abuse.
No, I'm the least rageful person.
I don't think I've ever heard you raise your yell. Just yell. Just
Give me something to yell. You really want me to yell? All right, I'll say
Cowboys suck.
That's what are you? You're like 10.
I'm trying to make you yell.
Okay.
Your mom wears combat boots.
All right. Hi, Jim.
That's yelling, or that's like calling me over. Like someone cuts you off in the car. What do you do?
You want me to be like mad?
Yeah, like if you, it's like impulsive nature, rage,
Oh, I don't
and
think
abuse.
I've ever really done. I got mad in the car, like road rage, but not like.
Do you alternate with small expressions of love and approval produce an addictive cycle for an abuser and abused? Do you tell your wife, "Come here, honey, I love you so much," and then you hug her, and then next thing you know, you squeeze her?
I don't breathe. No, not physically, but my wife would probably say mentally. I do.
You abuse her. We just uncovered a sociopath.
I know, man.
Wow.
Now I feel bad that I'm out in the streets like this.
Early behavior problems, juvenile delinquency. Usually
we were kind of like.
Okay, hold on, Chris. Usually has a history of behavioral and academic difficulty, yet get by.
That's
by conning others.
Quadruple, like what's a 5 checker? That's a 5 checker.
Problems in making and keeping friends.
No, man, I've been friends with you guys forever.
That's right. Irresponsible and unreliable.
No, I'm pretty reliable.
Okay.
Well, at least
promiscuous. Ooh, infidelity. How many girlfriends do you have?
Well,
lack of realistic life plan, parasitic lifestyles.
What does that mean?
Like you hang on to things or other people's lifestyles, like you're a parasite onto trends to move around a lot or makes all-encompassing promises for the future with a poor work ethic but exploits others effectively.
This is fucking crazy. This describes the president of the United States to a goddamn T.
Yeah. Well, he's more narcissistic personality disorder.
It seems to check a lot of these fucking boxes.
Yeah, and sociopathic. Yeah, he's gotten by like pretending to be.
So I hit about 65% of these things. Huh?
Oh,
that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Is it still going?
No. Well, last one is criminal or entrepreneurial versatility. Changes their image as needed to avoid prosecution. Oh.
Change your image to avoid prosecution.
No. I mean,
profiles of a sociopath.
When I was a kid, though, I did try to change my look a lot.
Maybe.
I don't know if it had something to do with it.
Let's see what a psychopath.
The difference between a psychopath and a sociopath down the bottom.
Oh, you want that one?
I don't know. I just
all right, let's see here. Oh, that's 8 minutes long, though. All right, let's.
Do you have an exalted sense of self? Are you a compulsive liar?
Jeez,
Would you
that
do
looks
just
like
about
me.
anything to get what you want? If you answered yes to all of these questions, you might want to consult a professional who can determine if you are a sociopath or a psychopath. Both sociopaths.
I love
like, this guy's voice.
Who goes in to ask for which one am I?
But this guy's voice, it sounds like he's describing entering into a Toys R Us.
I know.
Do you want a giraffe or a teddy bear?
And it seems like he's suggesting to go in and ask one of those things. Why does it have to be one of those?
I don't know, Chris.
Psychopaths and psychopaths share 3 common traits suggested by the questions above: conceitedness, deceitfulness, and manipulation, largely unchecked by moral conscience.
Shit, listen to this
Experts
music.
think that sociopathy and psychopathy
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob. I'm going to tell you that you're a fucking maniac.
are the same and group them together under the diagnostic term antisocial personality disorder,
That's a
or
big one.
APD, while others argue that there are significant differences between the 2 mental disorders. We'll examine some of these differences in this episode of The Infographic Show, Sociopath versus Psychopath. The outward behavior that sociopaths and psychopaths display can be as different as night and day. Sociopaths are more impulsive and irresponsible than psychopaths. As psychologist Scott Bond notes, sociopaths
Maybe you're a psychopath.
No,
tend to live on the fringes of society.
That sounds
They
worse
often
almost.
can't hold down a job for long and can't settle down in one place. They may travel extensively, but they are not sightseers. If they can't find legitimate work to pay for whatever they need, they may do shady things like lie, cheat, and steal from people along
I
the way.
don't think I'm this.
Renowned con man Charles Ponzi
Definitely
lived in
worked with this
manner.
guy.
Ponzi immigrated from Italy to America in 1903. He
course, he's
supposedly
Italian.
said, "I landed in this country with $2.50 in cash and $1 million in hopes, and those hopes never left me." According to the New England Historical Society, $2.50 was all that he had left after having gambled and drunk away most of the $200 he had with him on board the ship taking him to America. After arriving in Boston, he spent several years working odd jobs in the Northeast. Described by one article as an alleged sociopath, he led a life of lies that was all about tricking rich people into investing in sham corporations. His international reply coupon scheme was one where he used money from investors to pay other investors, a form of fraud that became known as the Ponzi scheme.
So this brings me back to early days of my business. So I was meeting an investor, or alleged investor, who had ties to, he was the ex-husband of Meadow Soprano.
Oh, yeah.
And so I at that time, I was probably dealing with a legit sociopath person in my life, and, you know, a greater extension of, you know, that kind of network, right? And so this person, 3 people removed, essentially set up this meeting as I was looking to start the business. And so he's claimed to be an investor. He was a Hollywood agent for a short time, and he was married to Meadow Soprano. Yeah. So I searched him, and his name is AJ Descala, right? No shame in announcing that name, right? So he sets up. I was in Boston for work. He tells me I need to be on a flight 6 a.m. in New York, and I have to meet him for coffee. So I cancel my plans, get on a flight, meet him at this very exclusive social club in Manhattan called the Core Club, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm there. It's like 8, 9 in the morning. I'm there before him. He comes in. He's completely bloodshot eye, good looking guy, but like he dresses. He was dressed like Adam Sandler. You know how like he always wears like big bulky like polo shirts and. Mm-hmm. So he sits down and he's talking about all these businesses and what have you, and he opens up his notebook. I still have the piece of paper in my office, and he writes a triangle, right? Because he's like telling me how he's going to invest, and this is how he normally structures his deals. Yeah. So he writes a triangle, and I go, that looks like a pyramid. Because I'm thinking of this Ponzi scheme, right? You have a Ponzi.
So he drew it like that. It wasn't upside down. It was.
Well, no, it was an upside down pyramid.
Yeah.
And I just stopped him. I'm like, that looks like a pyramid. And he was like caught off guard. But long story short, he strung me along. He was going to quote, invest $1 million in the business, and he was going to set up these corporations, and he was going to do like a reverse public offering and all of this nonsense. We get to the signing table, and he pulls some bullshit where he blows up the deal, and my attorney's like, "What are you going to do? Not sign it? Like that's $1 million." Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going to sign it. Like it's horrible." Like 6 months after that, guy gets arrested.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a complete fraudulent corporation scheme where he was like falsely investing into startup companies, then selling those shares to the public markets for like twice as much. So creating like penny stocks. Mm-hmm. And so they were just shell companies, so like just false. And so he's probably still in jail. So
what do he look like? You have his picture?
Yeah. AJ Descala.
How did you get it hooked up with him? From your sociopathic friend?
Look, there's a picture of him with Meadow Soprano. See, it's like you meet this guy in LA all the time, and he's like a New York guy, but his family owned one of the largest commercial real estate companies on the East Coast, and he was like the family degenerate. Like they stopped his trust fund.
What a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, and he tried to work me. Let's see. Jamie Lynn Ziegler's ex-husband found guilty in $300 million pump and dump.
Yeah, well.
See that?
Good for sniffing him out before he...
So, and as of May 2018, the lawyer is acquitted in an alleged scheme to inflate stock prices. But, so... Sorry, Chris. I ran off on a tangent.
Well,
there.
I don't think I'm a sociopath then.
All right. Well, we'll go to the psychopath side.
Yeah.
According to biography.com, Ponzi spent 14 years in prison for his crime. He was deported to Italy after being released from prison and ended up dying in Rio de Janeiro in 1949. In contrast, to establishing meaningful relationships. According to Bond, it is difficult but not impossible for sociopaths to form attachments with others. They are capable of empathy in certain limited circumstances, but not in others.
Now you're back.
And with a few individuals, but not others. Gary Ridgway is a good example of the sociopath's limited ability to feel empathy and form
Rob, he's going to kill you.
Between 1982 and 2001,
right, I'm going to try to skip ahead to
at least 49 women in Washington State, according to biography. Compensate for this.
Do they always have to kill people?
What a WebMD article calls skilled actors. They are charming and persuasive behaviors because psychopaths can dissociate emotionally from their actions, regardless of how terrible those actions may be. Psychopaths try to compensate for this impairment by being what a WebMD article calls skilled actors. They are charming and persuasive, and they're capable of faking emotions they can't feel. Notorious cult leader Jim Jones revealed his psychopathic mission to play whatever role was necessary to win trust and manipulate others when he said, "What you need to believe in is what you see." If you see me as your friend, I'll be your friend. If you see me as your father, I'll be your father. For those of you that don't have a father, if you see me as your savior, I'll be your savior. If you see me as your God, I'll be your God. A skilled orator.
Chris, Rob, what do you want Chris to be?
He seems to acquiesce to whatever. He seems like a good guy.
I want him to be.
You want Chris? Yeah, because he's a psychopath. He's a socio-psycho.
What do you want?
Yeah, can you be a little of both?
I think so. See, now, do you identify with both? Because
I wish I wish we had somebody that, like a doctor here,
can
or
we
someone
call?
to talk to.
Is there like a 24-hour
I would love to
service
ask.
you can
Yes,
call?
I can call my wife. She's a behavior scientist.
She's not going to tell me the truth. She'd be scared to anyway.
I'm going to call her. We'll see.
She's not going to do it.
All right,
but
we'll see.
Ask her if
anyway,
there's a service you can call too. Like if we call.
All right, I'm gonna
boy.
call.
Hello?
Hi, Heidi. This is your loving husband. I'm allegedly in the room with a sociopath. So we want to call, given your your background in the behavioral sciences, we're trying to determine if Chris is a sociopath or a psychopath, and are you able
both.
or a little bit of both? And so in your short dealings with Chris, how would you identify?
Or nothing.
Or well, we already identified that you're a little of something.
Yeah.
So what would you describe? How would you describe Chris in the terms of psycho or sociopathness?
Be blunt.
Well, as a behavior scientist, I don't diagnose people, so I'm not
She's
an
not gonna
expert
do
in
it.
Sorry.
She's not gonna do it.
Heidi, is there like a 24-hour service somewhere in the city we can call to get an answer? Psychopath hotline.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I would maybe look up the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, see if you can diagnose them yourself.
Oh, okay. That's what we've been doing. We're watching videos as well. But
I'm starting to get scared for all you guys.
I know he may kill us. So I love you. All right. I hope to see you later. All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
See, I knew she was gonna be honest.
Right. Well, yeah, she was. All right.
Well, yeah, she was
maybe I give her
honest
too
with
much credit because she sure as hell diagnoses me.
Well, my wife does too. I mean,
So anyway,
I guess we're gonna have to delay the diagnosis.
so Rob has depression. I have anxiety, and Chris is a fucking sociopath.
I just have this.
or what's the other one?
So psychopath.
Yeah. All right.
Mine is temporary. It'll go away as soon as there's leaves on the trees again.
We can put a pin in this and talk about it another time.
I told you circle back.
Oh, circle. We can circle back.
Circle back.
I told you.
We can circle
And
back.
I told you 10 live ellipse.
So Chris, can you play that bit? I'd rather Rob's who's your bar buddy?
What one?
Roach?
Oh, yeah, the one
Roach.
that talked like that.
I would rather slam my.
Yeah, hold on. Chris has the drop here.
I would rather slam my dick in the door. I'm gonna say that from now on when people give you a choice.
Yeah.
You want to do this? I would rather slam.
Hey, Chris, do you want to talk about your mental illness?
I would rather slam my dick in the door.
Well, I mean, that could be a little disorder too. My goodness.
Yeah.
Man, if I feel this thing has endless amount of like sound clips and drops I could put in this, I really don't have to use any language for the rest of my life if I feel this enough.
Oh, I told.
You just talk like Stephen Hawking.
Yes.
Hello.
Just keep
like all different voices.
Yes, it just flipped through it. I rather.
You can't handle that. It's just all movie quotes.
You can't.
Yeah.
I love you.
Let's call somebody and do the soundboard prank call shit like that. Except for it's not all the same
They
person.
would
like
lock
the Joe
me up.
Pesci.
They'd at least take my phone from me if I was always communicating in.
Just hitting
sound
that every
clips.
time. Oh yeah. Speaking of the bar, I turned my friend onto that Scott Thompson. Kids in the Hall. I'm gay. It's been played like 50 times now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he
See
just
that?
goes on, like,
Now it backfired.
I'm gay. He's gay. He's gay. I'm gay.
What did you say? You said he was one of the guys that kind of
Oh, if he was there that night when it first came on, no one would even ask any questions. Like, he's the one who put it on.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there, so like, what the fuck is this? What they're looking around the room to find out who put this song on. But anytime there's anything like that comes up, it's him. He's like you, is very provocative. Yeah. Anytime he can. Like, if there's like a nice couple in there, and all of a sudden it's Dick Almighty comes on from Two Live Crew or something, like, just or Wheeler Walker Jr. Oh, I heard a new one. I never. Did you ever hear this? Wait, I gotta find it. I Shazammed it. Never heard this shit before, but it came on. He must have put it on because
what's his name again?
Johnny Carroll.
That's the singer?
No, that's my buddy.
Oh no,
the singer. Oh, Wheeler Walker Jr. It was the guy that they did a lot. This.
All right. What's it called? F you, bitch. Drop him out.
I don't take your pick. The one that they play all the time. It was Eating Pussy and.
Yeah, we played that one already.
Or here's one. Bob Crushing, Hillbilly Fag Bar.
Oh, Jesus!
Goodness.
That's the name of the song, Hillbilly Fag Bar.
We can't play that, Rob. I'm not seeing it on the.
Yeah.
No.
Or how about Mickey Avalon, My Dick?
What about I sucked another dick?
What kind of country guy is this?
I don't think the other. I don't think.
Is he a shock artist?
This is Wheeler Walker Jr. Yeah. I sucked another dick last night.
Yeah, I think
what?
This guy.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's like I think he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
So he's not like a serious dude.
I sucked another dick last night.
What? So he's not serious. He's just like a fucking asshole.
I don't think he's like Weird Al though. I think he's like the anti-country guy. Like, he really hates modern country. If this is the same dude that I heard speaking on Rogan,
yeah, but all his stuff is stupid.
I know.
Like, it's all like this shit.
It's really anti-country. That one's got to go on. I can't believe no one ever put that on at the bar.
Speaking of country, Chris, are you getting into this Orville Peck craze?
No, I only heard like one song from him.
What's
I don't
the
really
craze?
know.
I don't know. He's kind of like this newfound
like a
country alternative.
In indie,
like Wilco back in the day, or
I actually heard him more. I heard this. They played him on XMU on Sirius, which is weird. It's generally an indie.
Yeah, no, he's in like he's considered alt or indie, but country. He's got a country twang about him, and he wears this ridiculous mask.
Yeah,
I think we talked about him.
Yeah, we did. I remember the mask now.
It looks like a lampshade.
Yeah. Oh no! He's got this like falsetto. Oh.
No.
I don't know.
But it does sound like if I ever do get into killing, that's the kind of music would be in the background.
To that music.
Yes.
Oh, here. This song's called "Turn to Hate." Let's see how this starts off.
It's got an awful bite. It's gonna rise again.
He's a gay fella too.
Is he?
Track of everything
He's very handsome.
Is he? You wouldn't be able to tell because he wears lampshades.
Another hole to mend.
Here's where it's like, oh.
Tell me you can't stay.
Just wait for it.
Don't leave. Don't cry. You're just another ride. Don't say goodbye. Head full of nothing and I'm wondering why it's alright.
Who is this guy? What's his name? Oh, makes you just want to do that, right? Do it, Chris. Oh, just go ahead and put egg in your throat.
I bet you this guy was a Morrissey fan. Morrissey might be a sociopath.
Yeah.
This is the kind of dude they put on Saturday Night Live, though, if he's blowing up.
He is. Orville Peck. It was funny when I was Christmas shopping. I was in like a little store, like a clothing store, and this was on, and some older guy was like, "Is this some unreleased REM song I don't know about?"
Really? Yeah. It doesn't sound like that to me.
So Rob, you were talking about your bar and your patrons, and so big shout out to friend of the show, Jason. He was actually texting me last night, and talking about, what it's like, to be inside the head of a bartender, right? Like he wants to know, do you eavesdrop on other people's conversation without interjecting, or like what goes on when you have a nice crowded bar or maybe when you're just kind of preoccupied, but you're, peering in on a convo?
Yeah, I guess that I don't know, in my head, because depending on what the subject matter is, I've broken into people's conversations and
no, let me tell you something.
Yeah, seriously. A lot of times, like, really, because some of the shit is moronic.
Like this?
You must have the brain the size of a dust mite's ball.
That dude's not a great conversationalist, but
Roach. I don't have to bring that guy in here.
Because he
can have a chair.
He's an old dude, old fat guy, bald, and his buddy that he's been bringing him into the bar plays darts, and he's almost looks the same way. He's an older guy, but the other day they were having an argument because this guy, his friend Bob, that brings him in, plays darts with his son and his friends. So all his friends call him Mr. Fitz. His last name is Fitzgerald, I think.
Like the cat?
Like, so they're like, hey, Mr. Fitz. And Roach is like, why are they calling you Mr. Fitz? You're a fucking asshole. They don't need, what's the matter, Roach? You getting pissed because they're giving him respect that he doesn't deserve? He doesn't deserve it. And they're fucking yelling at each other. They're like the two guys from the Muppets, up in the fucking balcony. So that, the guys like that I'll break into, like, no doubt, like just stir it up a little bit. Other people, you listen, you kind of.
This guy is Roach married?
I don't think so.
You should ask him about his personal life. I'm curious.
Roach is not he hasn't been going there long. He's
seem
only
like
been
the kind of guy that can handle a family life and then be like.
I don't know. I'll ask. I'll find out. But I don't know if Roach isn't like a big staple there. He just comes on Wednesday nights, and it's only been for the last.
Why Wednesday?
His dart night. So
they
go to dart league.
Darts?
No, he doesn't. His friend plays. He just comes and drinks.
Oh.
But he's usually they hang out at the Elks Lodge,
Shit.
which he is. Well,
We can get a dartboard here.
We could bring Roach out here. Just tell him you're gonna give him beer. All right.
What would he say if he saw someone play darts that was like really bad?
I don't even know if he would pay that much attention. He would just who you reminded me. Have you ever seen the movie Christine? The car that kills people. There's a guy on there.
When we were kids.
Yeah, there's a guy on there called Darnell. Look for Darnell's Garage in Christine. He's like that.
This guy here?
Yep.
Right,
you got to fast forward through this until you see him on the screen because it's
like, what if his wife doesn't let him out except for Wednesday nights? Maybe he's a good family man.
I don't think he's married. I don't think he's married at all. I think he God knows. I'm going to find out now because I've been doing that shit all week. Just like, what do you got? The brains the size of a dust mite's ball.
Got fucking brand new windshield wipers for a busted windshield.
How do you remember this? How do you have that?
When I first saw this guy had me crying. I have always been laughing at these guys. I don't know why. Older, kind of. And I'm sorry.
I think I watched this with you when we were like
it's almost
14.
Like
or
Archie
something.
Bunker or these guys have always made me laugh. Like
bad taste in cars. You know, Papa, you can't polish a turd.
When he pulls it in there, he's like, all right, shut it off. That's the last time you operate that mechanical asshole in here. The first time I ever saw this, I was fucking dying on Darnell.
Can you, all right, this looks like a good scene. Hold on.
When I said you could scrounge through that shit pile out back, I didn't mean you could build your whole fucking car with my stuff.
What do you care? I mean, you're not doing anything with it.
Hey, don't think you got the gold key to the crapper. Nobody takes advantage of me, understand?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, it cost you a whole shit pile full of dough to put this heap together.
I know.
All right.
Does Roach tip well?
I don't know. Actually,
you just buy him drinks.
Yeah,
I would. He seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, he would be funny as hell to sit because he kind of looks like that too, a little bit. Not exactly, but a little bit. It's just I had that video. Did you see the video that I took?
Yeah.
That you saw, like, I know it was. I was trying to. I should have just held it to his face. He wouldn't have fucking known the difference. I was trying to be sleek, so his head got cut off in it. But yeah, that guy. That's easy to break into their conversations. They're people that I know, and most of the time they're people I know. But every once in a while, you can get somebody that you don't know and jump in. And a lot of times, I won't stop to eavesdrop. I mean, to stand right there. I've changed.
Yeah.
Like, the older you get, the less you care, and I don't mind. And somehow I have the uncanny ability to insult people and have them like me still. I don't. Like,
that's a talent. I wonder what disorder that is.
I'm like, you're a fucking jerk. You just got to be cunning
true.
about it.
You've always been like that. I can insult people, like, and they hate me.
You just look, Chris, you look at people a wrong way and they want to, like, throw you out a window.
I know. I think it's my build. I just look like a wormy dude.
How dare you?
With a flat butt.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Hey, why is that guy with the flat ass staring at me?
No, actually, my wife does.
You look like a worm's ass that got stepped on.
The other thing too, like this guy and the colorful language, the little things they put up, they're just so rude and crude, and it's fucking hilarious. Like that whole dust mite. When he said that, I thought he was going to stop at dust mite. Like, you have the brains the size of a dust mite. Like, that's pretty harmless, but he had to throw in bowls at the end.
And like, do you think it was completely just impromptu, or like
has he been saying that for years? I don't know. I feel like that's something that he heard along. Like, he's probably been saying it for years, I guess.
Yeah, it's
but
probably one of his go-to lines.
And he probably has many.
Besides this.
I would rather slam my dick in the door.
He's probably got a couple of them.
That was his his comeback to listening to Hanson's Bop. He would rather slam his dick in the door. I brought that up the other day. Somebody actually was in there while they didn't say it to him. I was running around, so I couldn't. They're like, "Yo, that dude's definitely gay." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "He's fucking gay," and they're saying it out loud, pointing at him.
To Roach?
Yeah, about Roach, yeah, but he didn't see or hear it. I'm like, he's
I'll
definitely
suck
hiding
a prick
something.
off I'll suck the chrome off the polished back of a pickup truck doing 94 miles an hour down the Garden State Parkway while I'm jerking your dad off.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys, and a lot of times, and other people may not understand this, and I apologize, but a lot of times those guys are racist too, and I still laugh at them. Not because I support what they say. It's like they're the joke.
The absurdity of it.
He's like Archie Bunker, so you're always like, the shit Archie Bunker says
I would feel
fucking
like,
kills me.
yes.
But I don't root for him. Everyone knows he's the butt of the joke and the ignorant idiot. But the fact that he has, I don't know, the comfortability in social situations just to talk like that makes me fucking laugh that these guys take liberty. It always has.
See, yeah, you do the same thing I do to an extent. You kind of separate yourself from the scene, and you're almost like watching a television show.
Exactly. I don't. If he started screaming about which people have not like jumping up, going N-word, this and that, like, but the shit flows pretty easily in there with that kind of thing because they're all old school type people. Now others might get angry at me, like, why don't you say anything? Because what the fuck am I going to say? I just laugh at them. I think they're slobs and silly, but some of the shit is funny. The language that's used, it has always made me laugh. It always has. Yeah. I can't not, like, some of this shit, like, we know people like this. God, I can't think of anybody. Remember the guy that used to work at Miracle? Carl, when we used to buy 40s all the time.
Yeah.
That
Carl
dude
who?
was like that. I can't remember things that he would say, but I used to underage, we'd get served at this liquor store and we would buy 40s all the time because that's the alternative for, I don't want to sit in there and window shop because I got a fake ID. We just grab quick, hard, strong shit and out the door. We did it so often. This old guy, Carl, which is a great name for anybody who's like that, used to be like, all right, baby, come on. He's standing in the middle of the liquor store like, let's go. Like, he's ready to fucking give me a case of 40s, and he used to laugh every time. But that guy used to come into Nick's Jersey Pub when I was bartending there.
Yeah.
I can't remember any specific things that he said, but he was exactly that dude.
Carl?
Yeah, Carl was such an.
They don't name babies Carl.
No, like the that's it. This is
Nobody
Carl.
would.
Carl has a 5 o'clock shadow and a cigar.
Even if like they do the Carl Senior and Carl Junior, they would still. I feel like they would never still. They wouldn't. They would do a take on that. Nobody would say to their baby now.
Like Carl,
like, oh, you want to come over and see Carl?
That was like Cheers when they were doing it. Like, come on, kid. Come on, Cliff. Name the kid Cliff. Like, why don't you name him Cliff?
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah.
Carl keeps shitting.
That would be funny as shit, like a toddler running around named Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Carl. Carl's just an asshole
Put your clothes on, Carl.
He doesn't have diapers. It's just boxer shorts.
Another case in point. That guy that I worked when I was 18 at that car wash, and he was telling the story. He was like the mob guy. Telling a bunch of like underage people or just dirt bags that were working at a car wash about his encounter with a high class hooker in Manhattan, and she told him to take a shower, and he got offended and said, "My asshole's cleaner than your whole body." That's all I remember from the story was that's how he talks.
I mean, that sums up the story, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I guess people, I don't know, rude and crude has always made me laugh. I guess I'm a lowlife. I don't know if that answers Jason's question.
Well, I mean, we're really figuring ourselves out in this episode.
Yeah. You're a sociopath. I'm a lowlife. Oh, damn.
I guess my anxiety's not too bad after all.
Yeah, you got a lot going for you.
Jeez, just a little hot under the armpits, and that's it.
Yeah. You just produce a lot of sweat, and you're over anxious. Big deal.
Yeah.
Most of the time, this
just internalize things, Chris. I don't like to show my outwardly pain.
Well, yeah.
So
I don't know. You guys don't enjoy completely inappropriate humor. That's not even because it's almost like it's not even joking. It's just conversational. That makes
if it has nothing to do,
to me.
because what does it do?
Have you ever walked in on a conversation where it was like you were just like walking behind the bar, and someone's like, "So the next thing you know, there was a mouse in my ass."
Like, not that specifically, but yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, eventually take a double take and go, "What the fuck did you just say?" And then usually somebody starts laughing like you only caught the tail end of that. Let me explain. But yeah,
damn, they've been drinking. I would ask.
Oh, I will. I can't think of anything at this moment, but I will
tell you.
From now on, I will start taking notes and holding onto it like that. Like, wait a minute, or get out my phone. You want to say this to the internet? That'd be funny shit. There's a lot of funny shit that's said, and there's a lot of bullshit too.
That's something my dad would say. So I was talking to the internet the other day.
The internet. What was I only heard the drop that you had for 1 second.
Oh, I'll look for it. So
yes, you should. You got to send me that stuff. I can.
Oh, that would be perfect. So my brother-in-law somehow developed this because my brother-in-law is retired, and obviously so is my father. And so, as a bit of a familial responsibility, my brother-in-law likes to check in on my dad and take care of him in the sense that, hey, if you need to go running around, I'll drive you around town if you want to do things, because it always ends up at a bar or something. And, Howard's a retired police officer, so he's responsible. And so they developed this like friendship over the last, it's like the Odd Couple completely, but I have to give it to him. Howard's just, really is taking on the responsibility, but my dad's not used to that. Like my dad has never had friends, like that you can count on and like do things with, right? So, the running joke is that, he just calls him buddy. And like it's just an uncomfortable. It's sincere, but it's not, because it's like, hey, my buddy's here. Like he says it awkwardly, like. You're like, hey, this is my buddy. Like he's talking like third person, like, oh yeah, my buddy over there, and but he'll say it like, he'll walk in the room and go, hey, buddy, So I guess he decided to call him, randomly, and of course this is just my dad in a nutshell in how disconnected his whole agenda is.
I thought he was calling you.
No, please, he would never call me buddy. I joked, I was like, 43 years trying to develop a relationship with my father, and you get buddy after a year.
Hey, Hey, buddy, Pop. What?
Just random.
The what is the best?
I know, like he gets
Hey,
distracted.
buddy, Pop. What?
You need to isolate the what by itself for the chip. What?
I'm gonna text it right to you, Chris, right now.
Why do you have
I'll
that?
airdrop it. Well, obviously it's hysterical, so Howard
Oh, you
recorded
did?
it and sent it to me. Yeah. He's like, "Yep, got this voicemail from your father
And
today."
that was the whole
That was
voicemail?
it.
What? Oh, your dad is a man of many layers.
Yes, he is. All right,
Now, he
Chris,
could have been-
I'm airdropping this right into your soundboard.
Now he'd be if him being at the bar.
Yep.
If I was behind the bar, I'm sure he would say a lot of funny shit that would make me
Oh my
laugh. And I
God!
would
You
be-
would know more about my dad in one drinking session than I know about him in my entire life.
He likes trains.
He sure does. Trains.
I still never.
So
see them.
whatever disorder that is, where you just shop impulsively constantly throughout your entire life and buy things that you have zero intention or at least think you're going to.
That was something that goes on constantly. I thought it was just like a one-time.
Well, it's a one-time thing that lasted 10 years. So my dad one day decided that he was going to be a toy train enthusiast. And so he started getting the small, under the Christmas tree size trains. And then that turned into, a little bigger set. And then the next thing you know, he's getting like these boxcar shipments into his house of like Disney World size trains.
That's what I remember you telling me.
That he was like, and my mom is like, what are you? And then it got to the point where he was hiding these things in the basement. My mom had no idea, and then like her credit card would show up one month, and it would be like $15,000 worth of.
I needed a caboose.
He goes, "It's for the grandkids." They were like barely born, and like he envisioned like making this entire backyard railroad for my sister's kids.
Holy shit! I wish he pulled that off. That would have been great with a conductor.
But the best part is, I mean, it literally spanned over 20 years, and every single one of those trains are still in the basement.
Maybe it'll be worth something.
I mean, I don't think there's a market anymore. Like,
maybe that's the.
I have no idea. But he would take trips to York, Pennsylvania for like these train shows and whatnot. And
really?
Yeah. So he just did this decade-long thing of just dripping purchases of trains and tens of thousands of dollars that he didn't have spending, and now they're just collecting dust. And the best thing he would do is like, the trains.
Go ahead.
The trains that required like assembly or you had to paint. He had two left hands. Like with everything, he would break them, put them back in the box, and say they came broken. Like, but it was like half painted.
Holy shit!
But people. There's train freaks out there that would
I'm sure. I'm sure there is, but
fucking
How
collect
the hell
everything.
were you his son?
I'll be right back.
I don't know. I think I was. No, I wasn't adopted, but I'm.
That's
from somewhere.
Funny shit. But I remember you telling me that. I think it was like really like big ass trains. You could sit on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right, and go around.
Yeah. And then that was the thing. I tried to have like a responsible heart to heart. I was like, Pop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing? Like, you don't understand. When you have grandkids, you just want to give them the world. I'm like, but you haven't finished a project in 65 years. Like, what makes you think you're going to start now? Like, you'll lay one track and then realize you bought the wrong turn, and so it's just like one big squiggly track that doesn't go anywhere. And then like blame my mom. You bought the wrong one.
Oh man.
Oh man, I feel so loopy with this head cold. Like I can't retrieve my words. Like
you're stumbling today.
Right?
Were you take something?
No, I'm just antibiotics, but
antibiotics, and that screws you up for drinking.
Yep.
Oh well,
can't do that.
Well,
sorry, I'm a stammering, muttering, puttering idiot today.
I don't know how we're gonna go next week, but my company Christmas party is next Sunday night again in Atlantic City.
That's fun.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you tell the new listeners what you did last Christmas party?
Last Christmas,
in February.
Last Christmas.
Company.
Yes. Well, the bar, it's a bar, so the party, the holiday party, is in February after the Super Bowl because they didn't want to disrupt any business. It goes for a really slow weekend, so they'll close. And my boss is nice enough to get a block of rooms in Atlantic City.
Where you stayed, the Harris?
No, the Tropicana.
Ooh.
Because you go downstairs and there's also that wing called the Quarter. We've been to that, right?
I know nothing about Atlantic City.
I think
Quarter.
The Quarter is the...
that club?
It's like the 3-tiered thing. They got the Cuban bar, the Irish bar, the Russian vodka bar. I'm pretty sure we've
I don't know.
been the 1 or 2 times maybe we've been to Atlantic City together. I feel like I've been down there with you guys before. But it's, off the little wing off the casino.
I was in Atlantic City in college, and then for Knife's 40th. Not 40th. He didn't 30, like maybe 30. One of his birthdays.
Was it? Who was there? Were we all there? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No, it was just family. He was in his wheelchair after his accident.
Oh, really?
He was doing wheelies.
Oh shit! Then it was like more recent.
Yeah,
then.
a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how I even got introduced to the place. I don't go to Atlantic City either. It's a shithole. But that part of now the only place I ever end up is at the Tropicana because it has that Quarter area.
Yeah,
it's called the Quarter. It's off the so. Last year I indulged in some psychedelics.
Ooh,
it was a raucous good time. I found out the name of the psychedelic was window pane.
Window pane.
Yep.
What is that?
Well, that's
like
the name, I guess you would say maybe they're starting to brand themselves, or they did in the 60s with the LSD was.
So you have a connection that has like strands?
Yeah, I think these. Yeah, I guess I do. I didn't know much. But I mean, you've always heard like back in the day in the 60s, like, oh, I took some LSD 25, or what was the other one?
White Rabbit.
Or there was another one that was really like Sunshine or something. I think you've heard that in movies or.
What was it? The announcement during Woodstock. Don't take the brown acid.
Don't take the brown acid. Exactly. I don't really know, but it was told to me not too long ago that this stuff was called window pane. So, it's a controlled, fairly safe environment. You're kind of inside. You don't really, everything's inside. You don't have to go traveling around. So, and it's actually quite boring if you're not a gambler, which I am not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to the zoo for trash bags. You can just interact with the animals on the floor. Look at it. So, why not?
So
high times and low places.
There it is. Rob was just talking about his upcoming company party in Atlantic City, so I asked him to rehash his experience.
Or Rainbow Rob.
Yeah, we went for a ride that night, and we'll see what happens this year. No plans yet.
There's no plans now. Is it a situation where they'll surprise you and like someone has a goodie bag?
Of course, of course that will be. That's just how it rolls.
Now, when you're driving down the parkway, like knowing that you're just walking into a complete leaving Las Vegas or
Fear and
Loathing scenario, do you get any pre-game anxiety or like anxiousness?
No, because if I felt like it was something that I was worried about, I just wouldn't do it. There's plenty of other guys there that won't go near it. They'll just drink and do mad shots, like get completely wasted, which people is more harmful for you than what I did. So little PSA, but it's they have a suite, and the suite's got like everybody kind of gathers in that suite, and there's like
sorry to interrupt you, but now my wife is sending me links to articles about she's
worried about me.
She's so worried. Maybe it's cluster B personality disorder.
Cluster B?
Well, that's the classification. Antisocial personality disorder. Hold on. Trying to pull this up here. All right.
Well,
failure to conform to social norms.
Oh shit.
Deceitfulness.
Wow.
Irritability. You cranky?
No. Oh God, no. I'm always the same.
Lack of remorse.
Yeah.
Damn it. Like when you killed your cat and you just didn't.
2 out of 4, that's half.
You're 50% crazy.
You know, I was thinking about that before too. What you have anxiety,
yes,
like the hairline. You know, the walking the line between that and depression. Why don't you get a cat?
What fucking? What do I have a cat for?
They're supposed to reduce anxiety and blood pressure.
Cats?
Cats, yeah.
Why?
That would drive me nuts. Do you hear me now?
I think that's for like a kitten.
I
But
think
then they
dogs
grow
and-
up and shit.
Well, that's why I always wondered about that too. But I think if you, I'm probably very easily accessible on the internet. It's a proven theory that they reduce blood pressure and anxiety.
A cat?
Cat, yeah.
Fuck no.
I'll keep my sweat.
They're
on
a
my
lot of work.
Night terror.
I used to have one. They're a lot of anxiety. They
Is that-
fucking.
Is that why you killed
I
it?
was in anxiety when you
No,
like.
I
I never
never
understood the fucking cat when you're petting it and it's purring, and then 2 seconds later it's like whap.
Yeah,
whap,
they
like
suck.
fucking
And
hit
then
you
they're
upside
like
the head.
the litter box is. It's really gross. I mean, for real. I mean, I know there's cat people out there, but it's kind of like strange. You're letting like an animal shit in your house
know.
with just some dirt or sand.
I'm a dog person.
And then if God forbid you don't fucking do it or like enough, then there's like 1,000 turds.
yeah, or they get spiteful and start shitting other places
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, they're fuck.
And
I
they're
don't
all
know why.
like they're weird too, because if you don't get the right fucking cat litter, then it's like they might shit and piss everywhere else.
That and cat piss is the
Oh, those
worst.
beers look so good.
What's it really going to do to the antibiotic?
I don't know. I'm loopy as it is. I can't even get my words out. Do you hear me? I'm like a stuttering idiot.
You want some reefer?
No.
Yeah, they're supposed to, but I got a good chuckle of you with a cat.
Yeah, I can't picture you petting a cat.
Just all tender.
Yeah,
Just sitting on
petting
my
a cat.
lap.
I can just get in bed. Remember that dude I used to work with at the Exxon 20
Ed?
fucking 30? No, Rana. Remember I've been saying this for fucking 30 years. Every time I forgot what. And maybe I even said the same thing. Why don't you get a cat? Oh, I hate cat. Look what he would say on his dumb. Like he just went on a tangent about how he hates cats. But
See,
maybe
Chris, I'd imagine your cat had a leash. You'd walk it.
a cat.
No. No. Well, our cat was like all
That family down the street is
We
just
got it
so-
from a tank at a pet store, and
Tank.
You're not supposed to be swimming.
well, this is no. Yeah, it was.
See a bunch of kids
Filled
swimming
to
around the
water.
top of this thing. I'll take that one.
Yeah, they made a mistake.
Your son is like, that's a catfish?
No, it was like, I think we went into like PetSmart or one of those things, and we went in there and we were suckers, and we were like, there were 2 cats, and they were like brother and sister, they can't be separated.
Oh, boy. Hook,
Yeah.
line, and
you got them
sinker.
both?
Yes, and we because
As soon
like,
as you
oh.
scooped them out of the tank, they went back in the closet and
Well,
put
one
2
was
more in.
all right. So like, yeah. Well, so we got 2 cats, and the one that lasted the longest was really fucked up. It had like really fucked up like hip or something from day one, like kittens, like really really fucked up. It would like move like all. Like, I'm on a audio thing and I'm demonstrating. It doesn't really translate, but the hip would be like.
If you'd
really
imagine
out.
a cat that couldn't walk, that's what Chris looks like right now.
Well, it just had like a big hitch to its walk in the back and stuff. So anyway, I was like, yeah, we'll call it Cracky. But it was
Cracky.
Yeah, because it was like, I thought she looked like a crackhead.
Right.
But of course, my wife had to like clean it up because like when you go to like vets, they say, what's the animal's name or whatever, and then she would be like, it's Cracky Bones. And then we also did, the brother was a very black cat. So
Hi, this is Rob.
I didn't even do it yet. But yeah, it's
I'm
not
uncomfortable. What are you going to say next?
I named it Wesley Snipes.
Wesley. And of course, our unique brand.
That doesn't apply. It's not even a story.
They're gone now.
You know, like if it was a white cat, why can't I say like a really white?
I don't make the rules. I'm not saying anything.
It is touchy times. But anyway, these cats are long
Ari
gone. This is
Shaffir?
like 15 years ago. It was different times.
Name your next cat Ari Shaffir.
Your next cat.
Anyway, my wife would never go to the vet and write Wesley Snipes.
So was it just WS, like Wes? Or
I forget what she
Snipes?
Wesley.
My cat Snipes?
It was called Wesley. That was the she was cool with that. But
The best is when they're sitting in a fucking waiting room at a vet with a bunch of other animals and people, and they come out and ask, like, is Max here? Like, Max gets up and goes. Just come out and say, Wesley Snipes. Think of a black cat walking.
You know those bar paintings, like with the dogs at the poker table, like Chris's cat at the poker table, like Wesley.
Wesley.
yeah. Anyway, these cats sucked so bad. But anyway, I don't think I was ever a cat person.
Yeah, I mean, we had cats growing up, but I didn't feel compelled to get one now.
You can't do
My
much
wife
with them.
too.
They don't do anything. They just like sit.
You have to feed them and take care of them, and then they.
I mean, they like
ungratefully
to. I will say that I guess a cat likes to like curl up by you, but that's about it. What can you do?
My pit bull does that. He curls up by you on your lap and all that stuff, and he's a lot more affectionate than a cat, and I'm not worried about him swatting me in the face.
You could do some cool shit with a dog. You can like run down a trail. You can go up a mountain. You can go and do all kinds of stuff. You could like go on a skateboard and let him fucking drag your ass through the neighborhood. You can't do shit with a cat. I mean, if you go out with a cat with like a fucking leash, you're a weirdo. A complete fucking weirdo.
See, but that would have been your move in high school, and that's why you went to see the counselor.
Yes, that is. Yeah. Yes.
What is? I see these jokes out there, and I know they made them on the Golden Globes too. There's a movie, Cats. They made it into a fucking movie. Is that what they were referencing? And it's, I mean, I've seen the clips. It looks awful. Who greenlit that thing?
Well, I mean, it is the single most popular Broadway show ever, right? Like, so
why?
People love cats. Look, talk about weird looking cats. All right, here's the trailer for Cats, because they're like half human, half cat characters. All right, yep, okay.
I never saw this, even the trailer for this. I heard it did really bad.
Yeah, people were shitting on it left and right, and that's why I brought it. I didn't see a trailer for it. I didn't see anything for this.
Yeah, I heard it cost like $100 million and made like $2.
Yeah, it's a tough sell.
It's not nominated, I guess.
You got to sell a musical and Cats at the same time.
Oh, I hate Cat.
Speaking of cats, the Netflix Don't Fuck With Cats.
Oh,
holy hell!
Shit, I forgot to do my homework with Aaron Hernandez. But
we're late on it too, because I was gonna say, we'll do it next time, but no one gives a shit. Then it's too late.
You want me to
jump on this shit?
You want me to give you the gist of it? Do you know the story?
Yeah, I heard the story,
For
but I
Aaron
don't.
Hernandez?
No. Don't Fuck With Cats.
I thought the Don't Fuck With Cats thing was actually there was the other Netflix special. They were drawing dicks on cars and stuff.
Oh yeah, what was that one?
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like it was like a
mockumentary.
Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I forgot the name of it.
I heard it was actually good. I
But it
think
was
they did
fake.
2 seasons.
It was
the first season I heard
scripted.
was funny.
Yeah, it was like a show.
It was like kids, like pretty much like we were in high school, like doing funny shit, I guess. And they did. Did you see it?
I only saw like the half of the pilot episode.
I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it. But they were drawing like dicks on, and they did it like Making a Murderer, how they would like go and talk to the people.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
That's what I thought. Don't Fuck With Cats was like. That's what
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke.
No, man, it was twisted. I mean, you as a sociopath, you would really, really like it. Like that, you found your counterpart out in the wild there.
Really.
So the premise is, do you know the premise at all?
Yeah, the guy. I mean, from what I remember, the guy he killed 2 cats right on the internet, and he.
Well, yeah, there was just a viral video going around of like.
Is this like a major spoiler?
No, I won't do that.
Okay.
I'm just setting like the background as to how the movie came about. So there was this viral video going around of these two precious little kittens that, you know, just full of life and vigor, and this creep just stuffs them in a plastic bag and then vacuum sucks them to death and just kills them.
Jesus.
And it just shows like his profile.
I just named my cats weird.
Yeah. Well, that's where it starts.
No, I didn't do anything to my cats. I
So
raised them.
it was like this very creepy video where there was like Russian music playing in the back, and like, you know, just in this single bedroom kind of scenario. And so this video goes viral, and it starts to make its rounds on Facebook. And there's like a group of people that are like obsessed with how demented this video is, and how much revenge they wanted to get for this video. And so they started a support group about this video, and, you know, started tracking down the name of the person who posted the video online. And so they went down this web of like searching the world, and somehow they found like a lead on this guy that, like, by connecting certain similarities and behaviors and traits and characteristics, some kid in South Africa that ended up having depression and killing himself, but another video came about after his death, so it like sent them down another path. And it is just this long, windy, like remarkable story of like what people were able to intuitively do instinctively as a, you know, non-detective, just picking up clues from the videos and then tracking down you know, clue by clue by clue, and ultimately, you know, even worse, heinous videos coming out, where the next video was of a person being murdered. And so this whole documentary is them plotting and chasing after this guy.
Sounds like you gave a lot of spoilers.
I heard there were somebody told me that the people on the internet.
I didn't say he got caught.
The people on the internet were actually looking at products in the background. And
yeah, like the vacuum was the big one, because they couldn't determine if it was in Europe or in America.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of a spoiler. So they thought it was someone in Russia, they thought it was someone in Europe, but then someone saw the vacuum in the corner of the room and they're like, no, that's like a Dyson or whatever. And then they searched the model and they're like, nope, that's only sold in North America. so then they like refine their search and
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it was not that long ago. It couldn't have been on the internet that long. I mean, on Netflix that long, right?
I mean, I watched it probably 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, I heard about it about a month ago, probably.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that sounded quite fucked up. I don't want to watch. They didn't show the cats. Right,
well, I mean, one scene, like the vacuum scene, they got pretty close, but they do a good job of just getting right to the edge, and then you're looking away.
And I don't know. Is this weird, or am I a sociopath? Because I would much rather watch him kill a person than kill two kittens with a vacuum.
Well, he does that too.
Yeah,
so you get it all.
Sometimes that
don't get it. You get it all.
Kill a cat. So yeah, I have to check that one out. I stayed away from it because I just didn't want to watch somebody kill cats or puppies or anything like that.
I think it's misleading, the name.
Yeah,
I thought it was a joke.
I wouldn't know either unless somebody explained it to me before that, what was going on with that. Like, dude, you see, don't fuck with cats? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I probably wasn't even listening that much when they were telling me, but
I mean, it was just fascinating how the group. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Oh man, I'm just a joy today. I apologize for this episode.
It's a stinker.
I feel like I'm in a vice grip.
You're in the vacuum sealed bag right now.
At least I'm not.
The winter sucks.
It's really horrible. Like,
who would like? I said this to my wife all the time because like I said I'd like to get the fuck out and go to somewhere warm.
You
like,
could though.
24/7 warm.
See, but like you could. Like you really
I
could.
know
like,
I can. I got no attachment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like to be able to do that. Like,
well, I mean, it sucks for my kids. I have kids, so I don't want to uproot
but they
them
can
from
start
their
over.
friends. That sucks.
What are you telling them to move?
That's like if
they're still young enough to establish a whole new. How old are they? 8 and 6.
No, 11 and 7.
11 and 7.
They got friends.
I know. What? I mean,
I sound like a normal person right now.
I see, but that's the mask that you're acting. You're a very good con person.
Shit, I forgot. I forgot the other check the box.
But if your company said, all right, you got to go to Florida.
Well, I know they don't got stuff down there for us, but
what I'm saying, you almost
is,
went into the military. What would have happened?
Yeah, right.
Growl. Sergeant,
stop hiding.
Did anybody ever try to recruit you? Did you ever get?
Fuck no.
You never got the phone call?
Never. I don't think anyone knows I'm alive.
How would they? I don't know how I ended up. But
I don't go to I don't get jury
but,
duty. I got nothing. It's like I don't exist. I don't exist.
Wow. I got called. I think we were just senior year or just out of high school. I got a call on the phone from a recruiter. Had
really?
my name.
Yeah. What the fuck are they gonna do with me?
And I was like, I was stupid.
Did they call you Bobby?
I wish the fuck they'd call now. They're not gonna call me. I'm 44, but I wish I could go back to that because I was like slightly intimidated. I'm on the phone listening to this whole thing. Not like
you're a big dude. Maybe they were like, yeah, this guy can.
As far as I know, I don't know how
make you a Navy SEAL.
I don't know if it was from the, registering for the draft or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know how he got it. I didn't question that. Now it'd be right away. Wait a minute. Who is this? Why are you calling me? How? Before I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm like trying to give like stupid stuttering excuses why I don't want to join the army. I don't know. Yeah, I'll meet you there. I'll come. And then just hang up on it after the conversation. Now it'd be like, what, you fucking asshole? I wish they would call.
They didn't even. I'm the guy that they would like beat up with soap in the socks.
Full metal jacket thing.
Yes, I am that guy. And me just saying, stop it.
If you had to pick, what service would you choose? Navy, Army, Marines?
Whatever I think. Am I allowed to say what I think is the wimpiest? Is that bad?
No.
I feel like that is definitely a hi, this is Rob. Somebody's listening to that, like, upset.
Okay, yeah, mad. Like
the Navy.
You'd like
I think the Navy's, yes. Doesn't everyone always think that's
in the Navy?
I feel like you just stand on a boat and look out it, and
I
just
feel like it would be the Air Force
because
if you're not the guy flying the plane, what the hell are you doing in the Air Force? You're like the guy on the aircraft.
The Air Force, at least, yeah, that's true. But at least you're like in some combat with whatever. I feel like a boat, you're like, we're fighting people that they got no boats today.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that can compete navally.
Yeah,
anymore.
you're like a fucking pirate with no.
Chris in the Navy.
Yeah.
Did you see wearing
What
those?
are they going? Growl! Get to the submarine deck in 0200.
You're on leave wearing the whites.
Yeah.
The fucking Pillsbury Doughboy or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man collar on there. Fleet Week.
Yes.
When they get fucked up.
I want that toilet clean that you can eat off it.
Arlie Ermy, yeah, like the real drill instructor. What did he say in that movie? I want the head so clean, the Virgin Mary is proud to take a dump.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Search the world for treasure. Learn science, technology. Where can you begin to make your dreams all come true? On the land of the sea.
In the
Navy.
Navy.
Learn to fly, play, and sports, a skin dive, study oceanography. Sign up for the big band or sit in the grandstand when your team and others meet. In the Navy.
Chris is in the Navy.
In the Navy.
He loves the open sea. Look at that battleship.
In the Navy.
Woo!
In the Navy.
Oh, submarine.
In the Navy.
Look at my shoes.
In the Navy.
Look at my shoes.
Make a stand. In the Navy. In the Navy. In the Navy.
I feel you don't even have to be strong in the Navy, right? You don't, right? No.
The Navy, we
I feel
take
like
anyone.
You could have what? I'm going to try to pronounce a word I don't think I could say, but you could have like atrophy, right?
Yeah.
You could have like You could have.
You don't even need to know how to
I
swim.
mean, like there's a war and they're
Yes.
screening people. This guy's colorblind to the Navy.
Yes.
Like, just get all the garbage. Go to the Navy.
Yeah, man. I feel like, yes, I will not get beat up with soap socks in the Navy. I feel like it's just like an easy ride. This is probably very gonna piss somebody off that was in the Navy.
You know what? Grow a
But
set.
fuck, but
Wait till the Navy SEAL comes in.
I know it was the Marines, but could you picture yourself being yelled at like Full Metal Jacket, like earlier me? What the fuck are you? Screaming in your face.
standing in some kind of line in the dirt.
I like you. You can come over to my house and fuck my sister.
They would everyone would beat me up so many times because I'd make everyone have to do like so many push-ups. They would
It's like your pile in there, like
yeah, they'd be like, I'd be like, I'm trying not to. I'm just standing here.
this wasn't a good idea.
You
Yes.
just have to do one pull-up.
What do they do?
One pull-up, growl.
What do they do on the Navy on some big boat? They just like walk around and they go, yeah, just keep your eyes peeled.
Like everyone's just looking over.
Yes.
I see.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, did you see that dolphin?
Yes.
It's just like sailing.
Yeah, it's like
I'll ride around on a boat for a couple years.
Man, the captain's such an asshole.
yeah.
Oh, man. All right, Chris. You are up, cadet. You are up. You get to pick the exit song on that one. I mean, are you going to do an aquatic
aquatic
theme? Aquatic theme?
Actually, did you hear the Gorillaz
No,
new
I
single?
didn't. I saw.
It's good.
Is it good?
I like it.
You know.
So
I
the
was going to ask you
Gorillaz-
about that too. Like, I don't know if we said it because you really don't care for them at
No,
all.
I don't like. All right, so there's probably millions of people out there that
You're
know.
really setting the divide for yourself right now. You shat on the Navy, now you're going to shit on
I was
the
thinking this the
Gorillaz.
other night.
No, I'm saying I love like Damon Albarn and Blur more than anything. It's
Yeah.
like the biggest band in my life, but I don't know. I always felt like
His best work.
I always felt like Gorillaz was kind of like comic booky, kind of animated,
I think
kind of thing. But I
that's
do
what
appreciate his like melodies and like his hooks that
Yeah,
he puts
he's-
in things.
I don't. I know
For
it's
the
like a
girls.
hard sell too to tell people to listen to,
It's
but his solo
called
album.
Momentary Bliss.
Okay, let's see.
But I was listening to Everyday Robots the other night, and I'm like, I could only have my friends to talk about this with because nobody else would like that
I
music.
know, yeah.
I fucking love everything that dude
Do you
has
like
done.
his other thing? The
Good, the Bad, and the Queen. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, like I just came up in my mix, like the '80s Life came on.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the track
Straight up
names.
Blur song. From that, it's just a piano bass.
Did you hear the new one? The Mary, I think it's like a year old now, right? The latest
I didn't
one they
really,
put out.
yeah, I didn't really give it a
It's
shot.
very. I know that is very Anglo-centric. Would you say it's very British? It's just like I don't think American people would even.
This Gorilla one, they usually mix in like De La Soul or
Yeah,
somebody
they-
like this, but this is like some British rapper and shit.
Soft
We never
white.
talked.
Very
I've
British.
Never heard anybody bring up the Gorilla's curse. Because how many people have they featured that are dead now?
Oh,
Do
There's
they?
a ton. Yeah. But
Really?
Ibrahim Fair, Lou Reed, Bobby Womack, Ike Turner. There's a couple others that have appeared on Gorillaz albums and then died after it. Like they're all dead.
Rest in peace, Snoop Dogg.
But it's I literally love everything that dude's done. I don't know how I became a
Very
fan,
controversial, but I think Gorillaz is Damon Albarn's finest work.
Fuck you. You're a dick.
I
still
do.
think-
We never.
I
we
still
got.
think
We've
13
yet
and
to.
Think Tank are.
Yeah, I mean, we need to like have like the other dudes here to discuss.
down that
Yeah,
road.
to go through. Like, I think they're for what Blur meant to us. Like growing up, I think we need a Blur episode, like a little bit, like at least spend some time talking about it. But how? There's no way you think that they're better than Blur.
Finest work. I didn't say that. I said Damon's finest work.
That's Blur.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that dude.
I almost want to change my thing and put a Blur song on now.
I didn't say the Blur is bad. I just think Damon Albarn is really, really talented, and his true essence shines.
Well, he just keeps
the
going.
Gorillas.
Like he's got an output like Bowie. Like he just continues. He never stops working. The shit just keeps coming out.
All right. Well,
yeah.
maybe
But this was episode 30. We didn't talk about that, right?
No, because my brain is not in my head right now. I'm not even.
Your brain is in your ass.
I'm just a hologram today.
Roach. It's gonna be Roach.
But 30 is that's a nice number. I didn't think we were
forgot
going to get
about
to
it, too.
30 even when
30.
when we started.
We're gonna have a big.
You wait till we get 100, Chris.
No, wait. We're gonna have a 50 party, probably over the summer. We'll
Oh
invite
yeah,
everybody.
we can hit 50 this summer, right?
Yeah, I think we definitely get there.
We'll be on a we could quicker
plot
pace.
it. Yeah, we could plot it. We could know right now. Like
We need romantic Mike for the 50th.
Yeah, bring back all that. Who do we have on here? Mike and
We need
Josh.
everyone.
The only two guests we've had.
We
Right?
need
Oh,
a
besides
if
Helen
we
has
get-
been on here and Heidi has been on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we get to 50 though, we need like all the dudes from grow up with.
A 50. Yeah.
The
Joe Romeo.
The 5-piece. Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, I apologize to everyone once again for my illness.
It's all right. I carried you.
Yeah, you are. That version of you, you sociopath. All right, everyone. This was fun. We're going out with the Gorillas' Momentary Bliss.
So much better than this. Mostly in faces and momentary bliss. We could do so much better than this. Oh Rita, oh Rita.
Your potential, you lack credentials, and you are special, so fucking special. Oh, how you need it, oh, how you're needed, and you keep squeezing the truth from the middle. You part the seas, but your arches, they ain't golden, and you was gagging for some gags, and now you're rolling. Bet you shut your trap and keep it hush. On another note, couple of months made me blush. There's a hole in your pocket, so you cannot find the change. Cavern of your mind, you say your pattern. You pull your strings and you jump, hold your mouth and you say what was scripted the day before it happened. We all give applause when people open doors, but on the way out, it get your back in. See, everything in life is silver and gold, but mine is from metal, get platinum. It makes me sick to think you ain't happy in your skin, it's where it fit. To think like ball don't blink, it's flickers, set them then it pops, and withers you're a top, key twist that you deserve. Then it makes me sick.
In truth, the bills, they must be paid. And what is left is sodden cake, typical. Oh, you need to change your face. You get it sold. It's such a waste. You know we could do so much better than this. Swimming in pools of momentary bliss, where you gotta pay the bounty, 'cause everybody taking. Meanwhile you keep on adding. How big you gotta grow?
It makes me sick to think you ain't happy in your skin, it's where it fit. To think like ball don't blink, it just flickers. Set them then it pumps, and withers you're a top. Key twist that you deserve. School dinners make me sick. To think you ain't happy in your skin, it's where it fit. To think like ball don't blink, it just flickers. Set them then it pumps, and withers you're a top. Key twist that you deserve. School dinners make me sick.
We could do so much better than this. Mostly in faces and momentary bliss. We could do so much better than this. Oh Rita, oh Rita.